Hello everyone. In previous lectures, we had discussed about first come first serve CPU scheduling algorithm. We have completed this thing. We say that process which will arrive first will get executed first. Then we move that first come first serve. If larger process arrived first, then it will get executed and smaller process will not get chance for execution. Hence, we moved into the shortest job first. Shortest job first prefers all the processes or give priority to all the processes which are having smaller burst time. So we have considered both aspects. One is preemptive and the one is non-preemptive, both version of shortest job first, and checked that it is working quite better than the first come first serve. Then we moved that shortest job first is not practically feasible algorithm. Now, why is it so? Since nobody knows the burst time of process. Even the user do not know the exact burst time or amount of time process wants to execute into the CPU. So that was the practically infeasibility. And for to fulfill that thing, we had picked that by using certain predictive analysis, or by making predictions towards the burst time on the basis of previous data, we can implement that algorithm. Apart from that, we had picked that shortest job first favors the smaller burst processes, or a smaller process which wants to execute for the smaller time. But it's not necessary that all processes which are having smaller burst time are as important as the processes which are having the larger burst time or better than the larger burst time. It's not necessary. There is a possibility that one larger process belongs to the system having more importance, or there are many smaller processes are dependent upon that larger process for execution. Then what will happen? Since your shortest of first algorithm will not give chance to this higher bus time process, the system will get stopped. So to deal with such kind of situation, there is another algorithm, that is priority algorithm. Here, system is going to provide external priority to each and every process depending upon several criteria. One of the important criteria can be that whether the process is from user or from the system, whether this process is for interaction purpose or handling purpose. So you can use different criteria to provide the priority, but ultimate thing is providing the external priority. So let's take one example and try to find out that how priority scheduling works. So I am taking one example. Suppose I have three processes, P0, P1, and P2. Now let's have bus time. Bus time is 10, 10, and 5. Now what is bus time? Bus time is time for execution or CPU time. Let's take the arrival time. Arrival time is 0, 1, and 2. Now let's try to solve all the algorithms. So let's move to the first of all FCFS. That is first come first serve. FCFS algorithm. Now, what will be the chart for first come first serve? Let's try to design the chart. At 0th time, there is no other process arrived, so P0 will get executed up to 10 unit of time. Then which process arrived? That is P1. So P1 will get chance. So P1 will get executed up to 20. Then P2 will get executed up to 25. So that is first come first serve, which is quite easy. Now let's move to the shortest job first algorithm. So let's consider non-preemptive version. So what will be the chart for non-preemptive version? Once again, one question is the chart of non-preemptive version is equal to the first come first serve algorithm? What is your answer? Try to design chart of shortest job first non-preemptive and pick whether it is equal to first come first serve or not. Let's see this thing. Let's try to draw the non-preemptive version chart. So it will start with once again 0. Which process will get executed first? Definitely P0, since at 0th time no other process arrived. So there is no process for comparative analysis. So it will get executed for 10 unit of time. By 10? Because non-preemptive version says that once I have picked any process, I need to complete that process. Now after 10 unit of time, in my ready queue, I am having two processes, that is P1 and P2. So which process is having smaller burst time? P2. So definitely P2 will get executed. And after P2, now P1 will get chance for execution. So SJF non-preemptive have different way of execution than the first come first serve for this particular problem. Now what about preemptive version? Is preemptive version chart or process execution will be equal to or same as non-preemptive, or is there any difference in it again? What is your answer? So let's see that what is answer actual. Now at 0th time, since once again no other process arrived, so P1 will get chance for execution. Now at 1 unit of time, one process arrived, that is P1. Now P1 has knocked the door and says that I am ready for execution. But in this point of time, P0 have remaining time 10, sorry 9, and P1 have remaining time that is full, that is 10. So which process is having smaller burst time? That is P0. So P0 get its execution extension of it. So at second unit of time, 1 unit again P0 got executed, so this becomes 8. P1 is still waiting. Now suddenly P2 process arrived at second unit of time. Now P2 process wants to execute for 5 unit and P0 process wants to execute for 8 unit. So which process should get chance for execution? Now here, because of preemption, P2 will get switched in and P0 will get switched out. P0 out, P2 in. And P2 will get executed for 5 unit of time. So this becomes 7. Now, after completion of P2, why now I am not considering one unit for execution? Because now my scenario says that there is no other process which is coming. If any other process is arriving, definitely I need to track that thing also. Now after 7, P2 since got completed, now two processes are left. One is P0 which want to execute for 8 unit, and the one is P1 which wants to execute for 10 unit. So which process will get chance for execution? That is P0 process. And which that P0 process says that it should execute for 8 units. So this becomes 15. Now after that, P1 will get executed for 25. So that is execution of shortest job first, preemption. Now what about priority scheduling and how non-preemptive and preemptive priority will get executed in this scenario. So for priority scheduling, we require another column which is mandatory, that is what is external priority of these processes. So let's say, suppose external priority is given 1, uh, here I'll say 3, 1 and 2. Now be careful, if nothing is given, now carefully listen these things, that is, if nothing is given, then smaller number means higher priority. If nothing mentioned means by default, this is by default. Sometimes they mention that higher number is having higher priority. So be careful once you are reading this thing. Do not only pick that, okay, this particular column is given and default, by default, this is smaller number will represent the higher priority. If nothing is given, then use by default. Otherwise, sometimes to confuse you, they provide specific value of this thing, that this number represents this specific way of priority. So let's pick here default one. So lower number represent higher priority. Just like in or normal terms, we say that this is first, this is second, and this is third. So first means the better one. So first means higher priority. So here P1 is having the highest priority, then P2 is having the priority, and lowest priority is for P0. So let's try to solve for priority non-preemptive. So what will be the chart for it? Now, although this is having the lower priority, but be sure to check your arrival time. If all processes are arriving at the same time, then it's fine. You will straight away pick the priority and you will run the P1 process. But since here P0 is arriving at 0th time, and at this point of time no other process has arrived, so there is no process for comparative analysis. Hence, system will pick the P0, and since it is non-preemptive, so it says once you have picked any process, you need to complete it first. So P0 will get completed, but irrespective of its priority. Now after completion of P0, now system will again check that in my ready queue there are two processes, that is P1 and P2. So which process is having higher priority? So priority column says that P1 is having higher priority, hence P1 will get executed, and after completion of P1, P2 will get chance for execution. So that is priority preemptive. Now let's see what will be the priority preemptive. This was priority non-preemptive. So let's see priority preemptive. Priority preemptive says that process, whenever any higher priority process arrived, immediately at the time of arrival, we need to execute that higher priority process. So that is the primary concept. So let's try to execute this one. So at 0th time, since no process got arrived, so P1 got chance for execution. up to 1 unit of time. At 1 unit of time, P1 arrived and P1 is having the priority 1 which is greater than the P0 process. Hence, P0 will get out and P1 will get in. So P1 will execute for 1 unit of time. At 2 unit of time, P2 process get arrived, but P2 is having priority which is smaller than the P1 process. P1 is having the highest priority, hence P1 will get continued and it will get executed up to 11 complete 10 unit of time. So complete 10 unit of time P1 got executed. Then after completion of P1, system will again check that two processes are remaining, that is P0 and P2, and P2 is having the higher priority, hence P2 will get executed and P2 will get executed up to 5 unit of time, so this becomes 16. Now since no process left, only P0 is remaining, and in P0, 1 unit you have already executed, so 9 unit remaining, so hence it will get executed. So this is priority preemptive scheduling. So I hope that you got how to execute priority preemptive and priority non-preemptive scheduling. Since we have already picked that how to calculate waiting time and turnaround time, so I'm assuming that you will easily calculate the waiting time and turnaround time for these algorithms also. So I'm not going to focus on calculational aspect. I'm only going to focus on working aspect, that how algorithm works. So that is priority preemptive and priority non-preemptive algorithm. There is one more uh, type of priority, and that is actually advanced version. So, what I'll do, I'll discuss that particular thing after completion of our normal algorithm. Then, at the end, I discuss that particular thing also. So, since we have completed our priority scheduling, let's take just like we have done in our previous one also, that what is advantage and disadvantage of this algorithm. So what is advantage of this algorithm? Priority scheduling have advantage that now system or user can provide the external priority, and on the basis of those priority, processes can be executed. So my system will be smooth in terms of execution, since priority of each and every process is already decided. But what is disadvantage? Now suppose you want one interactive system. Now what is interactive system? Just like our system, generally user, what user do, user open 4 5 10 things parallelly, and user want that each and every thing should get executed parallelly, irrespective of whether hardware is supported or not. In this term, user always want the response, that my response should be good, for the sake of interactivity. Now, for that interactive system, this priority or all other algorithm which we have studied so far will get failed. Reason, they do not consider the interactivity. They consider their specific criteria. That is, first come first serve says the process which arrived first, I am going to execute irrespective of interactivity. Second, shortage of first says that I'm going to give my priority to the smaller process. Third, priority says that irrespective of longer process or smaller process, whatever system or user is saying, I'm going to arrange those processes accordingly. Now, if I want to execute I want to design one system which is time sharing system. Is it possible with these different basic algorithms? The answer is no. For time sharing system, we require certain algorithm which can share time between different processes. So for that purpose, that was a disadvantage of priority scheduling, and hence our new algorithm arrived, that is round robin scheduling. So in our next lecture, we will pick that how round robin scheduling works. So that's all for today. In next lecture, we'll discuss this thing, that is round robin scheduling.